Hi.
Hi.
Olivia Offringa.
Taylor Dixon.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Brittany Verholst.
Taylor
Olivia
Dixon.
Offringa. Nice to meet you.
Taylor Dixon.
Hi. Brittany
Hi.
Verholst.
Hunter Taylor Dixon.
Hi.
Hi.
Brittany Verholst. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Thank you.
nice to meet you.
Hi. Hi. Brittany Verholst. Nice to meet you.
Hunter Dixon, nice to meet you.
Benson, good to see you. How
Great
are
to
you
see you
today?
again. Doing well, doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad we could have this meeting with you today. I know Benton and I have been working very closely together, and we'd just like to introduce ourselves. So for all of you who I haven't met before, I'm Olivia Offringa, and I'm the sales representative.
I'm Brittany Verholst, and I'm the Regional Sales Director.
I'm Hunter Henderson, and our applications engineer manager.
Hi, I'm Anna C., and I'm the Vice President of Manufacturing.
And our applications engineer, Megan Browell, is running a little late, and she'll be joining us in just a bit, and we'll go ahead and start our meeting.
Sounds great.
Okay?
So we thought it would be in all of our best interest to list out our goals before we started, just so we could see where everybody's coming from and just prioritize from there. So if you guys would mind listing your goals for us today, that'd be great. We can just take some notes.
Yeah, I think for us, we're mainly looking at a few key things. We're gonna hit on kind of the major points of the contract and of the bid y'all originally gave us. We're gonna talk about the the recuperator,
Okay.
I believe, and then also kind of discuss just the different options within that and just kind of what our needs are, what your needs are, and a little more about the product and just ask questions from there.
Okay. So you would say the recuperator is your main priority right now?
It's one of the talking points.
Okay. And then how about concerns? What are some of your main concerns?
Product performance for me, I really want to see how it performs and the efficiency of the product.
Okay.
If we're gonna make such a big investment, we just wanna make sure it's worth our while and it's gonna increase our efficiency rather than be more of a hassle, so.
Okay.
And also delivery time, we need it in 3 months flat.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and we can look right at the quotation that we gave you. Do you have that with you? Okay. So as far as the model itself, the JR2000 compressor set, do you have any questions about that? Before we get into options or anything? Are we okay on price? Are we okay on
I think
details?
we'll get to the price of it a little bit later. I don't want to talk about it right now, but let's go into the product options within that.
Sure. Okay. So do we want to start? We want to start with the recuperator. I think we both agree that's a big.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So what would you like to know?
So in terms of it being a relatively new addition, I guess our main concern would be just, is that something that, you know, it's new, so it's not something that you've tested fully, that we should be concerned about maintenance down the line? Is it gonna be more of a hassle in terms of keeping up with it? It's something that we don't typically see with these type of things, so.
Well, this is, the recuperator is state-of-the-art technology, brand new technology, which is actually putting ahead of any of its competition. And so it actually reduces your fuel consumption, because we were talking about being more efficient as a company, and it reduces your fuel consumption by an estimated 25 to 30%. And this results in a savings of $15,000 to $20,000 per month. So we feel like it's a very beneficial product, and I think that y'all would be very huge beneficiaries of being some of the first pioneers of the recuperator and beating your competition to getting the recuperator.
But what type of testing have you done with it? Who's implemented the recuperator? Like, have they had success with it? We just haven't really seen what kind of
Right. Well,
implementation.
With people that we've worked with in the past, they saw a $15,000 to $20,000 per month reduction in their savings. So, or they were saving that much money.
Who were these people?
Past clients that we've worked with. I mean, you've worked more closely with
Gulfair.
them. Okay.
And what you guys were sharing with me earlier when we were on the field was that it looks like $180,000 in a year for us. And I would say my main concern for Maverick is just that the asking price and what it brings in savings.
Okay. So you're concerned that you're not getting as much return then. So $180,000 is a safe estimate. That would be if you're saving the $15,000 per year. So did you have more of an idea of how much you think that's worth, cause just in 3 years, you'll have more than, gotten your ROI.
Yeah, I think it's a question that we're kind of asking you guys, is why did you price it where it's at?
We
What's the
think it
purpose
just
of
has a
that?
high potential for savings for a long time. So if you're getting $180,000, over the next 3 years, you will have made that money back,
What-
plus.
What's a
some.
long time though? So it's a new product, right? It's a new, not cutting edge. What's the lifespan of it?
Hunter, would you like to touch on that?
The lifespan of the
The recuperator.
recuperator. Well, what we would like to do is test that and see how long that it actually lasts. But we have found that it lasts for a good 10 years.
So you have tested it?
We have tested it, and we would like to see how well it works with y'all.
So you wanna charge us money to test a product with us?
Yeah.
A lot of money?
Well,
Well, okay, so if you use the recuperator for 3 years, that's $540,000 that you'll be saving. So in 3 years, you make $40,000. If we're using the safe estimate of $15,000 savings. So then we'd also like to look at, how much longer it can last past that, but it absolutely will last 3 years, which will save you money, no matter what.
But does it work with our marine shelter and the salt spray filters? Is it efficient with those as well?
Yes, it is, and I mean, we have product options, like that too, that will fit very seamlessly as well, so we can go ahead and talk about those.
right, our other options work very well with each other, and they're very complementary. Would you like to hear about the other two as well?
Are y'all good on the recuperator? Y'all?
Yeah, we can come. That's good.
Okay. Well, the salt spray air filter is designed to it's used directly for offshore applications such as Maverick is looking at, and it's used to reduce your maintenance costs on the basic unit by up to 12%. So the savings of $15,000 per year on 60% of all offshore applications. And then for the custom-built marine shelter, it is designed to protect the compressor of the JR2000 from corrosive elements through the salt air and things like that. And so this reduces your downtime of like having the corrosive effects on that compressor of 10% per year.
And you've seen that with other companies that you've worked with in the
We
past?
Yes, the recuperator is our newest product, but everything else we've had, and has been consistently, expressing those results.
Lindsay, you mentioned before that you wanted to see or make sure that the recuperator worked well with the salt spray and stuff. So do you already have a salt spray filter and custom built marine shelter?
I believe so, we do.
You do? Okay. And how is this working for you right now?
I think we're looking to replace them at this time.
Okay.
And is the recuperator then also something you're interested in, or it's new to you?
Well, we're just concerned with how it's gonna work with the other products and really just the efficiency of it. And it's a new product and we don't really wanna have to pay so much to test that out.
Right, and well, with pay, actually, there's been large recent increases in the cost of energy, and the whole purpose of the recuperator is to reduce that for you. So really, it's a very cost efficient product.
And since you're looking to replace the marine shelter and the spray filters, and the recuperator works very well with those, it's really a whole package deal that will save you a lot of money.
And I know that you're worried about having to pay for something that we're testing, but we do have our warranty. So if there are issues or defects with our product, you do have that warranty to fall onto.
And how long is that warranty for each specific piece of the puzzle, I guess?
It's negotiable, so we can go through and kind of make a plan that works.
So you mentioned 3 years for the recuperator. Is that standard? Is that longer than you normally give?
Well, the recuperator is new, so
Yeah.
we're really looking forward to working with you to come up for a solution that works best with us. So we can go ahead and talk about that right now if you want, and go through the warranty of everything, or do we want to focus on the price of the options? How do you?
You go through the warranty.
Okay. So the warranty is for defective machinery, and we can really design that however we want. We can do it for labor, parts, and for how many years. So do a blanket 3-year warranty on parts.
What's the average lifespan of each part, though? Because some parts can last longer, some parts, have you all found that there's more deficiencies in different places, or so on and so forth?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I asked, so with the basic parts, we're talking about warranties, what exactly is the lifespan of each part? I know that you mentioned 10, she mentioned 3, 3 positive, 10 testing for the recuperator. But what about the other parts, the custom built marine shelter, the spray, the air filters?
My actual applications engineer has some more information on that, and whenever she joins the meeting, she can definitely explore that a little further with you.
We typically do 1 year warranties. However, we would definitely be willing to negotiate on the recuperator since it's a new product.
Right, that's what, if you said it's gonna last 10 years, 3 years is on the short side being a warranty, so I was thinking,
Well, 3 years is just where you're sure that you're gonna get the return on your
Okay.
investment.
Okay.
It's not that we're saying, oh, we know it's gonna last 3 years. 10 years is what it's expected to stay, but 3 years is where it hits the return on your investment.
But it's all tested. When it comes down to it, right? Is
The
that,
recuperator.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So essentially, we should break down the price based on each year, and then we should pay for the 3 years. It shouldn't be for all 10 years, so we don't know if it's gonna last past those 3 years, and then if it does, you guys have already, the warranty's over, so.
This price is not for lasting 10 years. We've set this price for a reason based on the savings that it will give you, and then also how much it costs to produce it. So it's not priced on a yearly basis and then multiplied by 10, if that makes sense.
But if you were to do that and break it down by year, then you're looking at us investing $150K instead of $500K, which is a big difference in terms of the fact that you can only really guarantee 3 years for it.
We don't know exactly how long it'll last in your system. We've done our inside testing. But we're talking, the 3 years is just return on investment. That has nothing to do with the length of the product working. That's
So
just
what is the
ROI
length
for
then?
500,000. We don't know specifically.
10
But
years is what
we're estimating
Estimating.
based on our,
research.
yeah.
So it could be like 10 months and you guys don't know.
Well, that's where
Which
the
is the
warranty
warranty.
would come into play. So we're not gonna make you buy something and then if it doesn't work, say, oh, sorry, you already bought it. That's where the warranty comes in.
So would you give us a new product that would only last another 10 months, or would you give us our money back, or how would that work if it failed
I think
within?
that would be very negotiable.
Okay.
Definitely work out a plan after that. But we are very confident that it will last over 10 years.
Over 10?
Or 10 years.
Okay. Just kind of the price of the recuperator specifically. As you can tell, we're very concerned with that price. I think a few words that have been mentioned are test, it's very uncertain, it feels like, and it kind of feels like we're the guinea pigs in a way, which can be good, can be bad, right? We could be the first ones out there, the second, the third ones out there using it. However, we could be number 1, number 2, number 3 to really fail and have a product that doesn't work,
Right.
which goes back to that warranty that you guys have been discussing.
Hello, Megan.
Hi, sorry, I was in a meeting. This is Megan Rowell. I'm
How you
the
doing?
applications engineer with Bolter. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well, how you doing?
We were just talking about the recuperator.
Okay,
We were talking
Great.
about some of the prices, we went over some of the warranties and the lifespan.
Okay, great, thank you.
And Benton was just asking about how they feel about the recuperator and how they're worried about the testing and the pricing of it. And what we firmly believe that it will reduce your cost and it will increase your fuel consumption efficiencies and will effectively save you $15,000 to $20,000 per month. So no matter what, you're going to be saving money, and whether the product, it's a win-win situation for you, because no matter what, we know that this product is going to save you money right off the bat.
So you guarantee?
But we do guarantee that. But if the product fails and doesn't work, then we have the warranty on that, and we can work with you on a plan after that. So you can save money and the product fails and we can work with you on that, or you can save money and it works and then it's a perfect world.
I think we're assuming, right, that it's gonna kick off on day one and start saving us money, right? It's not gonna fail on the first day. But you have all this certainty, but you're using the word testing at the same time. For me, that just creates a lot of uncertainty for me. And I'm not gonna pay $500,000 for something that you're saying you're testing, but you're guaranteeing at the same time. You know, that for me is just very concerning, and the price for it is quite high.
It's also, speaking to the cost saving aspect of the product, it doesn't, I don't know if you guys have already covered this, but it does not use natural gas, and as I'm sure you guys know, the cost of natural gas is always increasing. And there's no end in sight for that, and not having that be an expense, that's where I think the real savings are gonna enter.
And I agree with that. I mean, you've proven that it's gonna reduce the fuel consumption for Maverick, but is it worth the risk for $500,000? Is that really the question on the table?
And also for that, it's just a drop in the bucket, because we're going to end up spending over $540,000 per year on fuel consumption. So if we can get the price down in order to get further savings to go towards the price of the fuel. Do you understand where we're coming from on that?
Yes, that makes perfect sense, except that the point of the recuperator is that it will be saving you
Oh, I
fuel,
understand.
so you won't have to spend as much on that.
Oh, we understand. It's
Okay.
just that it's just a drop in the bucket, and that we also need to work towards further savings, especially when the product hasn't been proven. And I understand that your estimates are $15,000 to $20,000 per month in savings, but in addition, we're still going to end up spending the cost
Right.
of the recuperator and
So-
then some every year in just running the machine.
Right, so you're telling me that a reduction in fuel costs or a reduction in fuel consumption, which you're concerned about, of 25 to 30%, and a cost savings that will reach the 500,000 in just 3 years is a drop in the bucket?
It ends up being that way because we have to keep, let's say that, like you're saying, that it lasts the 10 years, and we still have to spend $5 million in the cost of making the machine run. So we're just looking to, if we can chip away at the price that you guys are asking for, that money can go towards the cost that we're gonna end up spending on fuel to run the machine.
So considering that the recuperator is your biggest concern because it's a new product, we're definitely willing to negotiate on the price for that. And so then working with that and a combination of the warranty and maybe making the warranty a little bit longer for the recuperator and making it specifically just for that, but then a shorter warranty on the other products, does that sound like that would maybe reduce those concerns?
That sounds like a definite possibility, but I would have to ask the engineering team on what they're looking for.
Why would we shorten the warranty on the other products then?
Not shorten it, it would just be shorter than the warranty for
We
the
would be
recuperator, so
lengthening
we'd
the
be
warranty
lengthening.
for the
Okay, so then I guess my main question then in terms of we do purchase it and it does break down the warranty and you're saying you're gonna fix it, how much downtime are we looking at? Cause that's costing us money regardless if you're saving us money on gas, sorry, you're looking at a lot of downtime.
We actually can do same day service. And we're seeing fewer engineering problems than ever, with the recuperator. And,
Does that service come out of your budget then? Cause that's something we should.
it's a part of the warranty.
We shouldn't pay for, yeah. Okay.
And we found that we can reduce downtime by approximately 10% than whatever you're using now.
Okay.
With the recuperator?
just in general.
In
our
general.
service.
So
Sorry, did you have
what are
something?
you all thinking is a reasonable price for the flat fee for the recuperator?
Yeah, for us, you know, coming to this, it's still a major concern, and then the language that was shot out. I mean, it's great that I guess you're guaranteeing stuff, but can you actually guarantee it? That's the question, and the fact that we are getting things that we are testing for it, I don't think we should pay $500,000 for it. What we're looking at is more $200,000. That's kind of where we need to get to.
Okay. So I think one of the things that maybe we didn't communicate as clearly is that the recuperator we have done in-house testing, and all of the savings and the percentages that we've discussed is what we have found definitively. And we would not put a product on the market that we did not believe in and know can perform to the standards that we've set and have shared with you today. So we are confident in its ability to meet those standards. What we are not sure about is how long the product will last and those type of things, and that's where the warranty comes in. So for a price of $200,000, that doesn't even cover the building cost of the actual product, so we would be losing money.
So what would be your reservation price then? What's the lowest that you're willing to go?
So we would be willing to go to 450,000.
So you're really only dropping $50,000 off of the cost.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you a 2.5-year ROI. It's very reasonable for how cutting edge this product is.
You keep in mind, this isn't just saving you money. I mean, it's saving you $15,000 and $20,000 per month, but it's also reducing your fuel consumption, which is a huge concern, especially with the increase and the spikes in cost of energy right now.
Not to mention public image. It's great to have a product that doesn't consume as much fuel for the public's eye. You know, they see that going on and they want to do business with that company.
It's not an and/or thing. I mean that's the money it's saving us per month is because of the fuel consumption, right? It's not you're saving us money and you're saving us fuel consumption. I mean
It's saving
And essentially, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it does save you money, but also you're not using near as much fuel. So you use less fuel, and then from that you do save money.
Yeah.
Did we ever state that fuel and all that was a concern though? I don't think that's something that we're really worried about.
Yeah, this
Jenna mentioned that.
this product is an option too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not something we have to get.
Mhm.
So, based off our conversations, let's go ahead and move on to kind of the next thing, and we'll come back to this because it is ultimately just an option. So,
Well, and also just to hit on that really quick, if you buy or if you decide to purchase all 4 of these products as a package, we would be able to lower the cost for, say, the recuperator more than to the 450,000. Does that make sense?
Do you have a percentage on that? How much?
So we're willing to go down about 10%.
A blanket.
A blanket 10%.
Okay.
So,
Is that if we pair a few things or if we take
the whole
It's the whole
the
package.
whole package?
Okay, so what would you like to talk about next? Rain shelter or air filters? Either or. I know Lindsay had some concerns with those, or you're looking to replace those, so.
Yeah, we're looking to replace them. We just want to make sure that they'll all work together efficiently. We don't want to spend money and then not have it bring back that money for us.
Sure. Well, they're all designed together, so I think Megan and Hunter can talk about that specifically, more so than I can. Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, could you restate?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that the efficiency works well and that we don't want to spend a lot of money that's not going to bring us back our margins that we need to see.
Okay. Well, Megan, you're the specialist on this. Could you maybe dive into that a little bit further?
On the marine shelter.
Sure, start with the marine shelter.
Okay. I mean, it's reducing your downtime by 10%. I think it's a great product. It will protect the compressor from the harmful elements like the salt water.
So basically the JR2000 is the base set that you can purchase, right? And then we have all these options that have been specifically designed to work with it. So as far as efficiency goes, it is as efficient as possible because they were designed to work together. In addition to other companies raising their prices, so we automatically have a lower price right now than other companies. We are also producing more savings than the average comparable products. So with the spray air filter, for example, we're reducing maintenance costs with the specific design of that product by up to 12%. So that's looking at another $15,000 a year that you're saving, for just one example. The marine shelter reduces downtime, like Megan said, by 10%.
So how are you able to not raise costs when everyone else is?
I believe
Is
it's
it the product's just cheaper, or?
Yeah, and I believe
No.
it's due to our just innovative technology with the recuperator.
So you said something about how they're used to work together. Are these numbers that you've given us the numbers you've seen when they're just implemented by themselves, are these the numbers when all the products are implemented together?
Since they're optional products, that's what each part of the product gives.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so if they're implemented all together, how much would that save anything more, or is there any incentive to using all these products?
Well, it's just savings on top of savings. So you add 12% of from the spray salt spray filter, and then the 10% for the marine shelter, and you just add to your savings. And the products work very efficiently together. So they're designed to work together. And I know efficiency was a big key for all of you. So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Typically, do you see people, in your contracts, or do they do both of these together, or what do you see?
Yes, most people buy everything together. The service contract is negotiable based on the person, and since the recuperator is new and we've had a history working with Maverick before, we felt very comfortable introducing this product with you, and we think it can help you so much that we're very excited to bring it today. So to answer your question, yes, they typically do buy them together, but the recuperator is new, so it could be a very exciting thing to add.
So you seem kind of thrilled to bring a testing product test, so maybe there's something that we could do in terms of we might buy the marine shelter and the salt spray filters at the kind of heftier price that you're asking, and maybe you knock down the recuperator a significant amount, and we'll be your guinea pigs for
I
a
want
little
to
while.
clarify something really quick about this whole testing thing, is that we have tested our recuperator in-house, like Olivia had talked about, and that we have found the statistics that we've found based on our situation. And the reason why we're not saying that we're guaranteeing the 10 years, but we're saying that that might be variable, is because every location and every situation is different. And the location that the recuperator will be used in will have maybe some different, just some different things around it that might change and add some variables into the lifespan. So that's the reason why we're not going to guarantee you the 10 years, is because we haven't tested ours and exactly where your recuperator will be going. We've tested it where our recuperator is, or where other companies have used their recuperators.
But it is relatively new, and things like these
Yes.
needed to be tested for 2 to 3 years before you work out those engineering bugs that you were talking
Mhm.
about. And I know it's new enough that it is still, like, we're essentially guinea pigs, like Ben said, and that's something that maybe we could package it together and knock down the price a lot, more than $50,000.
Sure.
If we are gonna test it for you, then maybe we can help with glowing testimonial about it or something.
I believe
Further
we
down
had
the
talked
road.
about a blanket 10% off the package deal, am I correct? So it wasn't the 50,000, it was if you bought all 4 components, it would be a 10% off of the cost.
That's still a lot, I think, more expensive than we were looking at, so.
So what does that come to? Do y'all know?
The blanket statement is
1.15 million. Oh,
So that's not that 3.
no, I'm sorry,
0.65?
it's 2.5 million.
Okay.
2.5 million is the price of the JR 2000 itself. All of the options are 1.15 million, so we can.
So it's 3.65.
Yeah, 3.65 is with everything
Everything.
altogether, no
No.
reductions.
And that's 10% off of that 3.65?
Off of the option part of it.
So if we bought all these products at the price you're asking for, is what we're gonna get the 10% off of?
The options. Yeah.
If you bought all of the product together.
But we have to
you could-
pay these prices.
No, you get 10% off.
It's a
the
10%
price.
blanket.
But she's saying the
But-
prices that
the-
10% is coming off of is the prices that's listed on the sheet.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're realizing that 10% off of the recuperator is still only knocking it down to 450, right?
But I wanna clarify the math really quick, like 1 second.
Which is 1.15.
Okay.
So
You will be
10%
getting,
is
if we do a 10% blanket, that is $360,000 for the marine shelter, $450 for the
That's
recuperator.
the same price.
Right, but we're taking 10% off of our other very proven, very, you know,
Sustainable.
yeah, sustainable products. So what we're saying is we'll take 10% off each section, but it comes out to a blanket 10% off overall. Does that make sense? We don't typically discount our products.
I think something that's important to remember is this is the first contract of potential multiple contracts. I think the recuperator is the way of the future. I think it's something that Maverick needs to have, but I also think that you are asking this company to do something that makes them in the position of being a guinea pig. So, I mean, I think that the price, at least on the recuperator, is negotiable beyond the 10%.
In addition to what has been said about the in-house testing, this product isn't something that we just kind of like threw together overnight. This has been 2 to 3 years through the R&D and through 2 and 3 years of testing in-house. So although it hasn't been out in the real world yet, we are firm believers that this product will work and will save you money.
But could you see how having it on this contract in the field and producing the savings that you're stating confidently that it will produce, how Maverick would be more comfortable to pay a higher price in the next contract for the recuperator if it shows the success that you show?
Sure. The thing is we can't provide the recuperator at less than cost for us.
What is the cost then? So we know the dates.
Do you have the exact cost numbers?
I do not.
Okay, so basically, I know we've talked about all the 10%, and I think the numbers have probably gotten a little confusing. So if we look at doing the 10% blanket discount, that's giving you the recuperator for $385,000 and everything else at the stated price. We don't typically reduce our price of our proven products because we absolutely guarantee the results that we've talked about with the 10% downtime savings and all of those type of things. So that would come out to 1.035 million for all the options altogether.
So what would the total price be then?
That would be.
Sorry, I don't have a calculator.
No, it's okay. Oops, sorry. Small buttons. That comes out to 3.535.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm very confused then. So it's not 385 or 375, is that what you said? 385.
385.
For the recuperator, that's 10% off the recuperator?
That's a blanket 10% off.
Total, so not
Yeah,
just the recuperator.
So, but what we're saying is we don't discount the marine shelter or the air filters because they are so proven and we do know that they've been tested and they will give you those results. As I'm sure Olivia knows, you seem to know a lot about the industry and products. So if we do take a 10% off each product, which we do not do normally, that brings the recuperator's price down to $385.
So you're just allocating the 10% off of the rest of them onto the recuperator?
Yes. Okay. Does that answer your concern?
Well, the salt spray filters we do use, but the cost that you have asking is a lot more than we were willing to pay as well.
Well, you said that you were looking to replace them already, and
Yeah.
like we had stated earlier, that our competition has raised their prices, so our prices are pretty competitive. So by looking at our prices, you're either going to have to pay more for a competitor or get good quality and pay less with ours.
Well, we have a provider that's is keeping our price constant since we've remained with them so long. And we're really looking to switch, but not at this price that you're asking.
And so you think that, because we're looking at the next year to have former wells, right? That's we're expanding quickly. So this one contract is kind of, whoever we go with this contract, we're looking to go with for those other 4 contracts as well. So this is a gateway. So I think if we go to the competitors and say, hey, let us try, we want to try this product out, or they might not have the recuperator, they might have something like it, but if they have another JR 2000 just theirs, right? Essentially, they have other products, other options, and if they see the wealth of the opportunity that Maverick can bring in the future, I think we can get their discounted as well. I think overall 10% on this one contract, when we're looking at a total of 5 contracts. Is that something that you guys are really going to stick on? Because honestly, we can't pay if it's only 10% off. That's something that it's been brought to our attention. We honestly cannot do that, and we like what we see. Yes, we are looking to change.
Yeah,
We-
we are
we are.
looking to change and we want these new products, but we can't purchase with just the 10% off.
Yeah, and we need more than testing, you know, I'm sorry to keep on going back to this, and I completely understand, you know, that you have tested it in-house, right? But I think you mentioned one company outside has been using it, right? Gulf Air. You know, do you have a testimonial from them? Are they saying that the product's working out great? How long have they had it? What success are they seeing that gives us more reasonable doubt to purchase it at this such a high price? Is there anything there that's not in-house?
Well, the information that we're sharing with you, the $15,000 to $20,000 savings, is what we found from Gulf Air in our in-house. So that's where
That's
those
where it
numbers
is.
come from.
So it's only really been proven through 2 different outlets then?
Sure. I mean, we've spent years and years of R&D, so it's not like this is just some product that we threw together and think will work great. We are very confident in it.
How would you feel about, if you're talking about for the contracts, implementing it into some of the contracts and then waiting and doing a contingent contract for the future to see if you want to implement that, if it is successful, and if it does continue to work the way that you were planning on it working? Would that be an option?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're
definitely an
looking at
option. However, we're not going to pay something that we honestly can't pay on the very first contract. If that makes sense. So, you know,
Right, we wanna see our margins, and we wanna see that return on investment, and if it's gonna make us money in the long term, then we're gonna, you know, partner alongside with you with our other contracts as well, and maybe even, you know, we could go with a little higher price in the future if we see this, helping us too.
I think another aspect that we're not really touching on are all the savings that you get from our specific product designs. And we threw out the number, the 10% reduction in downtime from the marine shelter. Do you have a measure of what downtime costs you?
No. Do you all have a measure of what the average benchmark of the industry is for the marine shelters?
It really depends, but for one location, it can be anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million a year. So if we're looking at 10% of that, let's say the safe side, $500,000, that's still $50,000 that you're saving. So when you add that to the 180 savings from the recuperator, the 15,000 from the salt spray, and the 50,000. I'm not doing well with this calculator today.
Because some savings, like for the recuperator, are $15,000 to $20,000 per month. This isn't on a yearly basis. This is going to save you that much money per month.
So you're looking at,
$180,000 per year.
so.
Is it gonna run at that efficiency are you saying it's gonna run at that efficiency constantly?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what the $15,000 to $20,000 is.
And,
So you
and
have
we're
that variable.
using those numbers based on other products. So you might be getting your other product from your company at a lower price, but they aren't saving you this percent.
And also, whenever you think of downtime, you have to remember that you're not being able to produce, you're not being able to sell, so you're completely losing any revenue during that time, while still having to pay your employees and pay for your facilities.
That's what you're concerned with, your new product about.
And then with the warranty though, and the service, we come in and do that for you. So you're not paying an additional fee for warranty and service and those type of things.
And you said that can be the same day, so if something were to
Yes.
happen, it all happens in the same day.
Are you currently paying for a third party to come in and to service your machines?
We are not.
That was actually something I wanted to touch on. Your service contract is something that we can actually do in-house, so that would be something, unless you wanted to do it for $9,000 or less, that we're not interested in at all.
Okay, right. We don't have to provide that if that's absolutely not anything you want. So that will take a significant amount of money out of the option cost, if that's something we'd like to agree on.
Yeah, well, we're just, unless y'all can service it for less than 90,000, we're really not gonna, cause we can service it ourselves for 90,000.
Yeah, the 150,000 before the 10% decrease, which is whatever, so the 150,000, is for 2 years, normal maintenance, so.
Right.
Do you do it 90,000 for 2 years?
For 3 years.
Okay, yeah, so that's not
Really
something.
uncomparable.
Yeah, so we just wanna go ahead and
Knock
scratch
it,
that
yeah.
off,
Yeah.
okay, that works. Okay, so that also takes the,
10% away.
it takes $135,000 off the 1.035. Does that make sense? So that brings that to $900,000 for the product options.
So we're only saving $100,000 then? Essentially is what you're saying?
Well, just by going with that option and taking out the service contract, you're saving the 135,000.
And we're keeping the blanket 10,000. Cause it would be 1.15 million.
So, can you subtract, sorry, I don't have my calculator.
That's okay.
3.535 is what the original number you had given it earlier with the blanket. Can you subtract, that 150,000, tell us what our costs are gonna be?
Oh, sorry. That also. You should.
Minus 135, because of the
Right.
3% discount.
Right.
So even with that,
That's still.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
we both want a contract, obviously, right? I mean, but bottom line is, we both want to make a deal here. There's a lot of future potential for each of us.
Okay.
You know, I really would ask you guys just kind of look at it again and say, is there any way we can go further than that 10%? Because honestly, even with this 10%, we took out a whole option for us, a service option, a service contract, right? You know, we still are not meeting at all where we need to be.
Okay, I'm allowing right now up to 10% based on today, like what's happening. But any further reduction, would just require substantial justification on my part, going back to headquarters. So we could work something out in the contract where we guaranteed future business or guaranteed using our products on your next 4 wells, then we could lower the price more than the 10%.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We talk about
we're
that.
definitely willing to do that, so do you have those options
So I
available?
mean, we can go.
Well, that's something that we're
10%
gonna talk about right now.
10% down on the JR 2000 itself.
See, the JR 2000, I'm not overly concerned with. I think that is pretty reasonably priced. If we can go a little bit down on that, that's great. You know, we need to see close to south of $3 million total. I'm just gonna be honest with you, straight out onto that. So that's right where we need to be.
Okay.
Is there any way that we can make a justification? Because we're looking at a total of 5 contracts here.
Right.
You know, 4 future contracts based off of the product works or the tested product works. You know, going in the future, we would love to come back to you guys.
Right.
As long as everything works and, you know,
Okay,
based
so
on the
can we do that
contract, so.
per location? So,
Yes.
okay.
I think we should calculate what the service contract subtracted from the total is right now without the 10%. And then see how much percent we need to take off in order to get down to around 3 million.
Well, with just the 900,000 from the options and a 10% decrease on the JR 2000, we're at 3.15. So what I'm thinking, since there's some speculation and concern about the recuperator, is what if we implement that in one location right now, and then for your other 4 locations, you don't have any cost for the recuperator, and we'll keep the 10% for all the options across the board.
So you're saying essentially it's free in the other sense? So we're purchasing it once, and the other 4 times.
You're purchasing
We get
it
it.
one time for one location to make sure that it's something you want to invest in.
Yes.
And then if you want to come back and add them to the other 4 locations, we can revisit that in the future.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is though, I think it's reasonable because we are testing it.
Mhm.
We are testing it. It's the first contract, and if we're basing future contracts off that, then it needs to be more discounted up front, and then we can pay the full price once we know we're the guinea pigs, but it's working.
Well, that's what
Is that
we're
correct?
doing with the 10% off of everything. So like I said, we typically don't discount anything at all. So
Do you understand that 10% is really like minuscule in comparison to the investment that we're making? Like, We need more than 10%. I know you guys think
Yeah.
that that's like a big savings and we're gonna get all this savings in gas and all that kind of deal, and that's something that we're taking the risk in an initial hit that we can't take right now. That we need it to be lower so that we can eventually maybe pay as much as you want later for the other 4, but right now we can't do that.
So would you need some type of a verbal commitment to do more business with you? I mean, they've done business with you in the past and
Well,
are looking to do business in the future.
What,
So I think
what
that,
do you need to justify?
well, I think we need stated in the contract, just contingent upon everything working out at this one location, that if we were to lower the price past the 10%, that we would need future business at other wells.
so if that's in the contract, what can you offer? Discount on the
We
refrigerator?
can, that's what I was saying, I
Maybe
think we
we should
should
get closer to
calculate
the
the
3
price,
million.
because we can go to the 3 million. If that's the absolute maximum that you guys can go, I think we're willing to go to the 3 million.
With the
Assuming-
contingent contract on the future business of the other 4.
Assuming that we have business at the other 4 wells.
And we have no problem doing that as long as it performs, like you have said from your testing, we have no problem going forward in a 5-year contract and purchasing the 4 other systems.
There was a very important word that you said though, and that is investment. We spent a lot of time talking about price, and it's important to remember the value because our products we're a leader in the industry. Our products are, except for the recuperator, so far it's been tried. It's not proven true yet, but everything else is tried and true. You get a lot of value for what you spend. And the same can always be said of our competitors. So
That's what we're looking for. We're really looking for that value, and if the recuperator performs like your other products have in the past, we're willing to go forward with that 5-year. But at this time, we can't pay more than, around 3 million.
Okay, so how about we do this? We'll do 3 million for the one place, so that's a $650,000 savings. And then in the future, we bring that price up to.
Can I interject really quick?
Sure.
So for the 3 million that we were looking at, that included a service contract. So we would either need to include that and keep it at 3 million, or it would need to be just a little less.
3.5.
Yeah, it would be,
It would be 3.5 if we just take out the service contract. It
No.
would,
2.96. It'd be 2.96.
We're going
without-
150,000.
oh, okay, I got it.
Okay. I mean, we're really pushing it here with our.
Part of the thing is that we're providing you a lot of value. We're taking off 30% of the total cost of what we're bringing to the table for you. So, just feel like maybe we should work a little bit because we're trying really hard. We're taking off percentages that we never take off before.
Yeah.
We've never taken off before, and we're trying to provide you an ability to test what you've been concerned with just having one recuperator. And so,
But the return with the 4 contracts.
Yeah, we're providing a lot of value as well. So, I mean, we are working. I'm just telling you, I was just being upfront with you guys what we need to see in order to have a deal today.
So if we got closer to the number that you guys are needing, whether we include the service contract or not, would you be willing to make up for it in the future contracts of working with us?
yeah, if we see that
That's
value, then we're willing to
So a
make up.
contingent contract.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. That is what we're driving towards, yes.
Okay, so what is your number?
2.96
Without the service.
without the service contract.
That's if we're not avoiding ourselves.
Right. If I may, I think the service contract is a very important feature, and that is because when you have in-house repairs on some of these equipments, things can go wrong. You're not as familiar with the products as we are at Volter, and it can shorten the life of your machine by having your own people service the machines. That's why we like the service contract, and it really helps keep the machines running as efficiently as possible.
So, with the service contract, 3 years or 2 years?
It's 2.
It's currently 2.
There's a studio.
With 2 years, we're looking at a total value of this particular contract with contingency moving forward and working on 4 other contracts of $3 million flat. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes. So, yes, and also our service contract is normal maintenance, parts, and labor, so that it covers everything.
So we're looking at 3 million for the entire set.
For everything.
For one location.
Right.
And then we can come back and then,
And we can go ahead and replace the other things that you were looking for at the other locations, just not include the that particular product.
Okay, yeah, I think from our end, I think we're great on that price. If we can do that, with contingency, like we stated, a future business with you guys and our other contracts, and maybe even after those 4 contracts, we'll be open, we're definitely okay with the flat 3 million.
Okay.
A few other things that we need to discuss today, from our end, one in particular is delivery.
Okay.
Um,
Now, I know we have about 10 minutes left, so,
yeah,
of our terms and conditions, what are the most important for you? And we'll talk about the most important for us, and we'll try to go through them so we can
Yep.
come up with it.
For us, there's 3 major concerns that's
Okay.
still left on the table. That's delivery,
Okay.
the penalty for late delivery,
Okay.
and then also the,
Payments.
terms of payments.
Okay. Okay.
And then, just to kind of give you, I'm gonna give you all 3, just what we see from our side of the table.
Sure.
The first for delivery, it's been, to our knowledge, the past 7 months that you guys have been struggling to make on-time deliveries. That's one of our concerns with that, and we honestly need it very quickly as well
You said 3
with our
months,
time. Yeah,
right?
yes.
Yeah, if we're gonna make this big investment, we really want to start seeing those savings as soon as possible. So 6 months is an extremely long time, so we would like to cut that essentially in half. if
And
that's
just
possible.
working in the field, looking at our schedule, it's open and available for 3 months would be ideal for
So
Maverick at
then,
this point.
you brought up the penalty.
Yes, and then the penalty, just based off of past, what has been brought to our knowledge, past deliveries being late, increase the price per month that is late, based off the savings that we would be missing, closer to 75, not 10. but-
$75,000 per
Yes,
month.
Right.
yes. And then the last thing I mentioned was terms of payment.
Right.
And what we're looking at for terms of payment in particular is 4 equal payments. We're looking at an equal payment up front of once delivery, and then the second payment is once we get started and kicking. The third and fourth payments are at 90-day intervals, just to ensure that our product is working, and on our end, that'll help us out as well.
So are you saying that if there is problems with the product, that you're not gonna pay those 90-day intervals?
No, that's just one of our concerns.
Okay.
That's just kind of an explanation of why people above me have really cracked down on payment structure. Just based off the past, we've had some issues, and that's kind of our new standard process.
Okay.
So those are our 3 main
So,
concerns that we can push out in next 10 minutes.
And then I'll go ahead and share some of our main concerns, and we'll
Okay.
just try to find
Perfect.
a match. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Okay, so for terms of payment, we just discussed that, and I think we can be flexible, and then maybe if all of it goes well, we can shift it back a little bit more to
Right.
cash on delivery, like we typically require. And then have you ever had any dealings with arbitration clauses?
Yes. Yeah.
We really don't like arbitration clauses, and would prefer to leave that out, so that would be very important for us. And then also the inflation escalator,
Mhm.
and we typically do 15% per year. And I think if we can keep the 15% per year, do the interval terms of payment, and switch back to cash on delivery in the future, assuming all goes well. And then agree to the 3-month delivery, we could
Okay, so
have a deal
the
here.
2 things on the table then are the arbitration clause and the
Yeah.
penalty for late, right? Hopefully it's not late, and I hope you guys have, confidence that you should be on time, and there's essentially no need for a late fee. But to add more security on our end, we raise that a little bit from the 10. Is that a possibility?
I think so. I mean, we're gonna make this relationship a priority.
Yeah.
So we are going to get you your product in time, and then we also would be willing to raise the penalty then.
Okay.
So 75 seems like a very ridiculous jump from
Can
10.
we go 50 or 35? I'll do it on 35.
Sure. So we'll do 35 on this contract, right?
Okay.
Okay, so delivery, we have 3 months. Penalty for late is
Now, let me ask about that 3 months. Is what is just ideal from what I heard, or is that a hard, we need it?
Hard, yeah, we definitely need it.
And then,
Cancellation charges, we usually do 10% of contract.
That's pretty contingent though as well, so let's say maybe our recuperator just blows up, that's something I believe we should be able to cancel and there shouldn't be a charge, so is that?
The
That would be in the
cancellation is
warranty.
before, cancellation is before we even deliver
Actually,
it to you.
deliver.
okay,
I don't think we can.
since,
Right,
So we
I
can
don't think,
try
I
that.
think
That's
keep
fine.
that at 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Terms of payment, we'll do interval.
okay,
And for the
then-
warranty, we need to talk about real fast, just.
And then we also need to talk about the arbitration
Well,
clause.
y'all talked, you said, did you
That's
say
kind of a main
3-year
one,
warranty?
that's a main one as well.
That's what we had agreed on earlier, is that still good?
For parts.
Okay, 3 years.
Now we have about 5 minutes left, so what is some of the high points that we still need to talk about?
Arbitration clause, I think is kind of the last one.
Okay.
On our
It
end,
is the last.
on our end, we actually, got rid of most of our legal staff. So an arbitration clause is kind of a necessary thing. I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier. That did escape my mind.
Okay.
And you guys are, what I've heard was you guys are against the arbitration clause, is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yes, we don't like lawyers very much.
Yeah, and the arbitration clause, I think, to my knowledge, is the fact that we have a third party, a third mutual party that will go through the contract and disclose and they will make a legal rendering decision based off an issue or dispute. So would you all be okay with finding that mutual third party that, you know, is not biased to either of us, that will be able to go through the arbitration clause?
I think we've kind of offered a lot, and we've offered a lot of discounts, more than we're even technically allowed to, and really designed the terms and conditions specifically to meet your needs for this contingent contract. Would it be possible for this initial contract to leave out the arbitration clause and in the future add it?
I
Because
think you
really
might.
we've moved in your direction on almost every point.
There's been a few points, I think, in our end that we've stuck with, and the arbitration clause actually is something that is important. We can kind of go back and do something else in order to make that arbitration clause happen. You know, we kept the canceling fee at 10%, which is pretty big for us on our end. We usually don't do that. We usually at 2%.
But as Taylor stated, that y'all really don't think that the cancellation fee is gonna even come into play.
Well,
That's really the one thing
and
we
all
haven't
think the
changed.
penalty,
Yeah, that's
and we hopefully think that the penalty doesn't happen too, right? So, what do we need to do to make sure we get the arbitration clause in there? Do we need to decrease the price or increase our costs a little bit, or
I
what?
mean, if you could increase the cost, that would be great. There's just something that, I mean, I have to go back to management when I get back to headquarters. And I've already gone past the 10%, which is something that they advise that I don't do, but I'm justifying it because of the long-term relationship that I hope we have, so.
So can we fold that into this as well? Can we make the arbitration clause in this one contract and work on getting it out later?
How about no arbitration on this contract, we add it to the other 4, because 4 is more important than 1. I think we've moved a lot and we have
We've only
30 seconds.
Okay.
Well, I will sign here. And you can sign right there. We're glad we could make an agreement today, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Exciting.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Always a pleasure. Looking forward to future business.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I think we absolutely cannot discount more than ever at all. I think we lose.
That's okay,
Well,
we
no,
said, I actually
Julia.
completely forgot about some of my grades.
And y'all were
Did you say
supposed to,
if I
y'all
found
were
it
supposed to be
justifiable
super
that we
concerned
could
about
get
it.
It's exactly what I had said was
Oh,
what
yeah,
you
well,
said, so.
listen.
Oh, it
Wait,
said
what
that
did
line.
those things say?
A key integral part of the contract is the arbitration clause.
Oh.
It's like I
So,
That's what ours said too for not having it, so that was.
It was like.
And y'all were asking all this
actively
information,
avoided all
and I was
costs.
sitting here, and I have